Hello everyone, welcome back to your Asian drama. My name is Sa, and let's get into it. And as you can see, I have one of my cats, my buddy, who's going to be listening to me. Yeah. Episode 1 and 2 of Heart Signal Season 5. I will be condensing it into this video, so it's going to be a little bit longer than my future recap videos going in. But yeah, let's recap Heart Signal Season 5 Chinese version Episode 1 and 2. Let's start off episode 1. They start off the season a little bit differently this time, which is actually was a welcome change. They pretty much had where the house guests would chat with each other through text messages back and forth, and then they would pick each other to call, which was really nice. And it just so happened that the main, I guess I would call him female. I would call him male 1. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be a battle. Please don't mind the cat in this video. And it just so happens that the male guest 1, I'm just gonna call the main character because you'll see throughout the episodes how he becomes the main character and the one that all the girls are sought after, because I guess he's considered, like, you know, he's tall and he's really good looking and he has a good job. But yeah, he ended up originally choosing female 1, but she was already on the phone with someone else, so he ended up picking female 2, and so female 2 picked him back, vice versa. And just so happens all the housemates end up picking each other. You know, whoever the guy is called, the girls chose that guy back. So that was really nice. So they broke it down where they would go on their own dates, and I guess whoever had the most bells or votes or whatnot, they would get their own alone date. So it just happened, male guest 2 and female guest 3, they had their own dates, and I'm going to put their names up here because I'm just so bad with names, and I say this every time. I will learn these names and pronounce them properly, but I don't want to offend anyone, so I'll just put the names up on the screen for you guys and just call them by their acronym. The exciting part of the whole series is when they all meet together the first time in the house. Well, technically it wouldn't really be the first time, but they all get together for the first time. And the first guest in the house is female guest 3, and she's actually really popular. It seems on her Weibo, she almost has 1 million followers. So she's already really popular, and she seems like she has a good tomboy personality, and she's very pretty, and she's tall, and she seems really sweet and nice, and very caring, you'll see throughout the episodes. But she's the first guest in the house, and then the second guest just happens to be Mr. Popular, male number 1, and as a girl, I could totally see why he is so popular. He's tall, he's really good looking. Personally, I think he's definitely good looking, but also his personality and the way he carries himself is very likable for girls. He's not too show-offy, but he just has the right amount of confidence, and he smiles a lot, and he always shows good signs of affection. And yeah, it definitely seems like a fun person to be with, and also very nice. So I can definitely see why a lot of girls like him, and you'll see throughout the episodes why. And then we have the following guests coming along, and they all get together, and it's great. And I will be honest, definitely am biased towards him, Tall Sheep. And then you'll see Potato. She's female guest number 2, and I really like her. I like her mature side, and she has a girly but also independent mature side, and I realize in all these series what kind of girls I favorite over, and which is, you know, very understandable. I know a lot of people favor the sweet, pure, innocent girl look, the typical, very considered the most prettiest girl in the group. I mean, they're all attractive in their own ways and charming, but it's just, you know, personal preferences. Okay, so next up, there's there's this cute scene where you see the male lead 1 guy, or where you see Sheep take the bag for her, and I thought that was really sweet, and I'm like, oh my god, my ship is already coming to fruition, and I'm just crossing my fingers that they still like each other, because they were so, they have a good, I think, banter of one another, as you saw in their date when they met up for the first time in that picnic and that double date. I feel like they got along really well and had a lot in common and could really hold good conversations together that actually were impactful. So then all the 6 house guests get together, and prior to the 4 guests, they are cooking together, having a good time, and of course you have the infamous apron scene, and it's just so hilarious how the popular guy decides to be neutral amongst the girls. He doesn't want to start any, I guess, issues. You can tell, you know, he tries to be considerate of other people's. The 3 girls, they like Sheep, and it's so obvious, and the poor 2 guys are just standing there, and they can only look from a distance and feel, not to say, yeah, I feel a little intimidated for sure. So that definitely was quite obvious, and it was just funny seeing the three girls crowd around him. But eventually, just being Sheep and Potato cooking together. And so then the sixth guy finally appears. You don't see much of him in this episode in the beginning, but they all get together and they talk about their job class and everything, and they go and then So we have male guest 1, what his job occupation is, and I'll put it on the screen for you guys, and his age and everything. So we have all the guests and their ages, and they all are very successful people and have good jobs. They studied abroad, they have double degrees, they got master's degrees, bachelor degrees, very well educated. And then one of them actually is a musical actor, which is really cool. We got a media vlogger, finance consultant, medical consultant, industry back end, financial back end, all this good stuff. So they have the introductions about their ages and what they did. So that's always fun to know, when they reveal the ages. And it just so happens that most of the guys are younger than the girls, which is really surprising. I think Sheep, he's the only one that is older than the girls, and he's the same age as Potato, so I thought that was really cool. They were both 27 years old. So next up on the show is is Belle, female guest number 1. Her leg is injured, and I guess she had to leave the dining room table because she was not feeling well, so she left early to go down and rest. And then you can tell male guest 3 really likes her and went after her just to see how she was doing, but she was just not having none of that. She definitely is not into him at all right now in the first episode. And then she finally does come back upstairs, and they all try to help each other out, and her of her injured leg. And they have dinner again, and then later on they end up playing Mario Kart on the Switch. It's nice to see the Switch make another appearance, because last season on Heart Signal 4 they also had a Switch and played games, so that was fun. And I really feel like this group of people are really great for each other. They have good communication amongst each other, they talk, they're a lively bunch, they play games together. They definitely seem like they're gonna get along really well and have a fun and good friendships will be built and good bonds. So that was really exciting to see. Okay, next up we have a lot of other scenes of different dynamics forming and girls eyeing for the main guy and all that good stuff. And then finally we get the choices and decisions, and this is where I definitely understand that everyone has their biases, because I definitely have my bias and my couple who I want to be together, and you can see the panels have their own. And this is where I guess, because my bias is different than the panel's bias, where I feel kind of a little, offended, but not really, which is understandable. So it seems like the panelists really like Belle. She has that, that typical very, really pretty, pure look that a lot of, that these shows seem to, geared towards and really like. And so they, have to guess who's who, and they guess that, the main, that Sheep, the main guest would pick her, but actually he did not end up picking her. He picked Potato, because they, like I said, in my eyes, and the way it was edited, they had really good chemistry together. And what these editors did is, it was really tough, because, he had these two, I guess, love stories between Belle and Potato. So just depending on your personal preference, who you think would pick what. But it ends up Sheep and Potato end up picking each other. So I was like, yay, exciting. And then male guest 3 picked Belle, and then male guest 2 picked female guest 3. So it was actually really nice that this is the first season, I think, I could be wrong, where all the girls get a text messages. So that was nice. Unfortunately for the guy side, oh my god, the guy side was so one-sided. The Sheep, he ended up getting all 3 girls' votes. So that's a lot of pressure for this guy. It reminds me of Heart Signal Season 2, when the guy got all the votes from the girls in the very first episode. But of course later on in later episodes that ends up having their differences and preferences. Yeah, that was it for recapping episode 1.